Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft 2 cast. For this one we're doing a replay cast of a new build that I made. The ranked ladder is down at the moment, so you can only play unranked. So I decided to try out a new idea, and this one's going to be a TVP. New countdown timer that came with patch 5.0. That's because when you join a game, sometimes your opponent joins like a second before you do, so they get to start their worker a second before you do. So there's a little inconsistency to how fair the starts are. So the countdown timer assures that everyone's starting at the same moment. Anyways, I am spawning in the bottom right here, and I believe this is Death Aura. So starting with the depot first, and setting a second SUV to make the same depot, apparently. Looks like I explained the same thing in chat. Could have cut out that whole commentary. Yeah, so depot into barracks. And... oops, spoilers. You guys didn't see it. No rewinding. Yeah, and it's actually going to be a second rack. So it's a 2 racks opening, and we're walling off the front. I guess we can bring up that, and we can bring up that. And it looks like it's saying another SC for a 3 racks, right? So 1 base, 3 racks. This is definitely going to be some sort of offensive aggressive cheese, but we're not proxying it. So it's not that effective, I guess. You probably want to proxy racks if you're going to racks all in. Anyways, he doesn't get a vision of leaves 2 of the barracks, but he can't get into my base, so he doesn't know if I'm taking gas or not. But 2 barracks is quite a bit of information right off the bat. It's very abnormal. Also, by the positioning of these, you can see that I'm not going straight into an add-on. Anyways, beginning my first Marine. No orbital on the way, though. So we are cutting the orbital and going straight into gas. So gas doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense when you're going mass Marine, but it'll work out. We're skipping the orbital because, yeah, Mule gives you extra income, but it's not actually giving you any resources you wouldn't get otherwise over time. Like, it's not adding any minerals to your base, so by not skipping the orbital, we actually gain 150 minerals. So that's pretty strong. So it's much better not to get an orbital for those reasons. Yeah, so engineering bay. So this is actually going to be a defensive 1 base because we're getting gas and ninja base, so we're going into upgrades. And yeah, 3 on gas now. Continuing that marine production. Meanwhile, we do have a proxy something coming from the protoss, and looks like he's getting ready to expand. Sending an SCV to the front to build a bunker. Right, because when you're doing 1 base, 3 racks, right, your opponent expects you to be aggressive, so you can really throw off your opponent by being completely defensive on the 1 base. So it's a new strategy I'm playing with here. I just want to defend from drops, so keeping some Marines up top. Meanwhile, the front will have covered with a bunker here. Starting NeoSteel armor, so that will actually increase the capacity of my barracks by 4, as well as giving my bunkers by 4, as well as giving all my structures an extra 2 armor. So these bunkers are going to become much stronger. So if you're going bunker, you might as well go NeoSteel armor. They seem to just play hand in hand. Also, adding armor to this depot makes it much less likely for him to break in. And if you're going to go 1 bunker, you might as well get 2 more. You see this gives a nice little concave on the ramp, as well as helps block this sort of position you might be blinking in from. We've already invested in NeoSteel armor, so basically at this point, the more bunkers we get, basically the better off we are. We have so much value because of like that upgrade, which gives 2 different buffs to the bunker. Yeah, so now we got a nice little concave on the blink-in spot up here as well. So this is really going to be a tough spot for him to break through, especially once we get this upgrade complete. And we've already queued up +1 infantry attack too, so these Marines will be doing extra damage. Since our Marines are in bunkers, we don't need stim because, you know, Or combat shield, at least. I guess you can technically stim while you're inside a bunker, but combat shield we definitely don't need because we have the bunker for the defense. The hit points don't really matter. Adding a 4th barracks, just because we're starting to float a little bit of minerals here, and adding more bunkers. So there's no real diminishing return to bunkers. Basically, it's kind of at the spot where the more bunkers you get, the better off you are. Yeah, so, you know, once you get to like 3 or 4, you're kind of committed at that point, so you may as well just stay on the full bunker path and just continue to build bunkers. It also gives us a little bit more defense on this top corner here. Meanwhile, we have finished the NeoSteel armor, so the bunkers look cooler, and we can go up to... Actually, it's not... It's not 8 Marines, it's 6 Marines. I've actually never really paid attention to that before. I never realized how strong the strategy was, so I never got NeoSteel armor for my bunkers. Sorry, keep it straight face. If the bunkers are next to each other, you can kind of chain them and send units to them quickly. So if I ever need to get Marines from like this bunker all the way around to this bunker, it's nice to have them all connected. That way I can just kind of zip them through by rallying one to the next. It kind of looks similar to, if you remember from a long time ago, if you've been a long time fan, the bunker hexagon I used to make with Marauders. It was an attempt to quickly shoot Marauders through all the bunkers, so it looks like one bunker has like so many Marauders in it that it shoots like a machine gun. I got it working, and I never really got a good game where I got to show how effective it was, and then they changed the way Marauders work, so where Marauders have an animation, so they won't instantly fire anymore, so it kind of got rid of that bunker hexagon effect. I guess they called it a bit of an exploit, the fact that Marauders could shoot instantly without having to have any sort of animation. And I don't want to abuse any sort of exploit. On a completely unrelated note, the reason the ladder is down is because of an exploit where you can pick up things you're not supposed to be able to pick up with your command center. People are picking up planetary fortresses and dropping planetaries in opponents' bases. Yeah, but here's the thing. Picking up planetary is kind of cool, but you have to drop it. Marines are able to shoot while inside a bunker, but more technically, Marines are able to shoot while inside a structure. So if I pick up full bunkers with my command center here, it's a little tricky to get this working, so I'm trying to get it just right. These Marines are technically still inside a structure, so they can shoot. So the only thing they can actually attack while the command center is floating is Marines is any sort of bio or bunkers filled with bio. So it looks like we're up to 9 full NeoSteel bunkers inside of this command center. And that is 10. And we were actually able to pick up 10 plus an SCV, right? Did I count wrong? Let me just go back here for a second. How many did we actually pick up? I thought I made 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's 9. Okay. So 9 times 6, that's 54 Marines in that command center. And as I said, this is now just a flying super bunker. Rip your stalkers. I'm going to pull our SCVs. We got a little bit of leftover money so we can repair the command center. We don't actually need this gas. We should pull out gas a while ago. +1 is also completed, so this is 54 +1 Marines. And you've probably never seen 54 Marines fire before. I mean, you see games of Starcraft 2 where people have over 54 Marines, but they're always like splitting and pulling back, and some are shooting and some aren't. This is the first time we're going to see 54 Marines all in one location, all shooting at the same target at once. 10 exploite. Well, it's an exploit, but it's not a 10 exploite, so I think we're definitely safe here. Yeah, so it was proxy Dark Shrine. Unfortunately, we were able to pick off a small handful of stalkers, but he is prepared now. He's warping in more stalkers. Getting up to a large count, he's got 1 sentry for Guardian Shield, which is really strong versus Marines. It gives an extra, was it 2 or 3 armor? Reduces incoming damage from friendly units by... No, 2 friendly units by 2. Yeah, so it's basically like an extra 2 armor. Yeah, so with extra 2 armor and all these stalkers, unfortunately these we're going to have to pull back with this command center. It's just going to be too much firepower. Yeah, and there it is. Yeah, that's not too much firepower. I guess he must have a mothership or something, because it looks like his base is disappearing to me. Not able to see what's going on here. And some of the SCVs survived. We hid them from the DT, so we're able to pull back and heal up with this command center a little bit. Accidentally destroying his base as I fly to his natural. The slow walk of death. So I actually tested it. You can actually pick up anything in the command center. You can pick up siege tanks or any sort of unit. But again, you can't fire the siege tank from inside the command center. You have to drop it out. But it is kind of funny to just walk in a command center, you know, drop 3 bunkers and 4 siege tanks, and then land the command center instead of a planetary. I've done that before. Command center can pick up any sort of structure. The command center can even pick up itself. And you might ask what happens if something picks up itself. Yeah, it goes into a black hole of some sort. I don't really understand. Obviously, you can't interact with things that are picked up inside a command center, so if it picks up itself, it just kind of ceases to exist, even though it still exists. We do have some warrior days here, but they are charged up, so we got to keep our distance. Try to attack them when they don't have the charge. Unfortunately, they're going to hit me with the charge. Oh, wait. Never mind. It didn't matter. Our SCVs did find his final base. Looks like he could try to do slow damage with Tempest, but he's going to take a better path from this point, and it's the path of the next ladder game. So GG everyone. If you're wondering why ladder is down, this is the reason why. Someone figured out that you can pick up units randomly. I spent some time playing with it, realized it's not so random. You can figure out exactly how to pick up units, and as many as you want. You can make bunkers fire, and if you get NeoSteel armor, not only do you increase the amount of Marines in the bunker from 4 up to 6, but you increase the amount of bunkers inside your command center from 5 up to 10. So we got, yeah, the capacity for 60 Marines inside this command center. Yeah, I think the reason I didn't pick up a 10th bunker is I wasn't 100% sure how it worked when it filled, and you can very easily have the command center pick itself up, which, you know, sends it to the black hole of death along with the 9 bunkers. So since I didn't know the dynamic of how it works with a full command center, I didn't want to risk that last one, because you kind of had to involve an SCV to pick it up correctly. I'm not going to say exactly how, because I don't know Blizzard's policy on this stuff, but typically with gaming companies, if you use an exploit and it's not in a competitive game, then it's fine. But if you share how to use an exploit online, then they usually have some policy against that. They don't want people spreading an exploit so other people will use it. But I can say it does exist. And yeah, that's what a 60 Marine flying bunker with 1500 hit points and 5 armor looks like. Or 3 armor, I guess. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and I'm out of here. Goodbye.